Hello. My website menu of the week has 10 oatmeal cookie recipes. And among them there is one of the best, most delicious and aromatic, and today we will cook it. In the middle it is soft, porous, slightly moist, and on the edges it is crispy and crumbly. The taste has nutty and creamy notes. Perfect. In this video I will tell you in great detail with all the steps and nuances how to cook such cookies so that you can turn on the video, repeat, and you will definitely succeed. If you are not ready to start baking cookies now, then save this video, subscribe to my channel, put a like, a bell so as not to lose this recipe, and you can repeat it whenever it is convenient for you. Well, we will start cooking. We will need oatmeal, necessarily finely ground like mine. If you replace it with coarsely ground flakes, the texture of the cookies will be different, they will not turn out perfect. If it is difficult to determine which flakes are coarse and which are finely ground, focus on the labels on the package. You need those that say they cook for less than 3 minutes. The second main ingredient is butter, also 100 grams. It is responsible for the softness of the cookies. If you increase its amount, the cookies will be softer and crumblier, and if you decrease it, they will be harder and more uniform in structure. And no, you cannot replace wheat flour with rice, almond, or any other flour, because it is wheat flour that has the property of gluten, gluing all the ingredients together, and primarily butter. That is, if you replace it, you will simply get dry cookies and spreading puddles of butter, and we do not need this. But with sugar, there are variations in proportions. I use both brown and white sugar, 40 grams of brown sugar and 30 grams of white sugar. If you increase the amount of white sugar and decrease the amount of cane sugar, the cookies will be drier, crispier, and flatter. And if you do the opposite, the cookies will be more fluffy, porous, and moist inside. It's a matter of taste. But for the first time, when you cook according to this recipe, use my proportions. And then decide for yourself what you like best. Another ingredient is walnuts. By adding them to the dough, you will get a pleasant nutty note. Walnuts are made for oatmeal cookies like cinnamon is made for apples. It's a wonderful combination. But if you don't like nuts or don't have them on hand, you can do without them. The cookies will still turn out. Next, baking powder. It is a must. If you cook without it, the cookies will be hard and dry like a shoe sole. And we need a soft and crumbly structure. In addition, we will need 1 egg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. I will start cooking and immediately show the main secret of these cookies. The oatmeal needs to be fried. Why? So that the flakes become brittle and soaked in oil. This will give us a crispy cookie structure and a pleasant creamy taste. In addition, it will significantly enhance the intensity of the taste. For this, we need all the oatmeal and 30 grams of butter. I add butter to a preheated frying pan. Wait until it melts and pour in the flakes. Stir and heat, stirring constantly. It is important that the fire is strong enough so that the flakes do not stew, but rather fry. But it is also important to ensure that they do not burn. How will you understand that you have done everything correctly and it is time to stop? Focus on the color of the flakes and the smell. If after 8 to 10 minutes the flakes have darkened and started to smell so good that you are ready to eat them with a spoon straight from the frying pan, then you have done everything correctly. At the same time, in a separate frying pan heated over high heat, I roast the nuts for 1 to 2 minutes. Why? For the same reason, to enhance the flavor and make it brighter. After frying the nuts, I grind them in a food processor. Not to the state of dust. It is enough to get small pieces that will then crunch pleasantly in the cookies. I melt the remaining butter. I find it convenient to do this in the microwave. All the ingredients are ready, you can start kneading the dough. Separately, I take the dry ingredients. Flour, it needs to be sifted. Cinnamon, baking powder. I combine everything together in a large bowl and mix. Next, I mix together the egg, cane sugar, regular white sugar, and salt. I beat everything until it is a smooth, fluffy mass. The important word here is fluffy, meaning it is not enough to simply mix the ingredients together. We need to get a smooth mass but with air bubbles. To do this, I beat everything together for about 1 to 2 minutes. I add melted butter to the mass and mix everything again. Now I pour the liquid part of the dough into the dry part and mix everything again. It is important to do this not in a mixer or blender, but with a spatula or spoon. Be careful to keep the egg-sugar mixture airy. Look at the dough you have. It will seem to you that it is too liquid, but that is how it should be until we add the nuts and flakes. Now add them, mix until the dough becomes smooth, and that's it. And now the hardest part. You need to refrain from baking right away, but wait until the dough rests all the ingredients together. They will get married, that is, the aromas and flavors will mix, they will all soak up each other. And then the cookies will be even more delicious, fluffy, crumbly. That is, it is worth it. It is ideal if you make the dough in the evening, and in the morning you bake cookies for breakfast. Or vice versa, make the dough in the morning and in the evening or closer to the evening you will have filled cookies. If you find it difficult to wait all night or half a day, well, at least let the dough rest for 2 or 3 hours and only then start cooking. After the dough has rested, I turn on the oven and set it to heat up to 180 degrees. While the oven is heating up, I arm myself with a spoon and form pieces of approximately the same weight from the dough. Then I roll them into balls with my hands. It will be more convenient for you to use either a tablespoon or a spoon for making ice cream balls. Cookies are baked for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you want the cookies to be drier and crispier, increase this time to 20 minutes. I got 15 cookies from the named amount of ingredients. Weigh them. Look how amazing the oatmeal cookies turned out on all sides. Golden crispy crust. They also rose, increased in size. When you do the same as me in balls, they will crack. If you want flat cookies, you will need to press the ball like this, and then there will be no such cracks, but the shape will be different, they will be less flat. Fluffy and will no longer be such a cap. But this, as they say, is a matter of taste. Someone likes them with cracks, someone likes them flatter and more uniform. The link to this recipe in detail with a detailed step-by-step description with photos is in the description of this video. By clicking on the link, you go to a page where you can read in detail. Perhaps some of you will find it more convenient to cook from the text, rather than from the video. If you like this recipe, then save it for yourself and save my channel. Subscribe to it, like it, click the bell. And until we meet again, with you is Daria Chernenko. Bye.